After this, another case came
Yeah,
about.
a boy named Anthony something.
Yes.
I didn't catch what his last name was.
And the similarity, Anthony Avalar. The similarities were scary.
Only this boy was 10.
Yep.
He was another beautiful little boy.
Yep.
You know, had this like smile about him. I will never unsee those kids' pictures.
Went through all the same offices of DCFS and the gain office and all this other.
So after Gabriel's trial, or after they're arrested for Gabriel's death, they do this huge commission where they're going to change everything. They're going to, reinvent the wheel in how to stop this from happening again. And it happened 2 more times after the things that the commission voted to do were enacted.
Because DCFS said basically, we didn't want to. Yeah, fuck them. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And I'm just like...
See, at that point, now the director of DCFS is criminally liable because they were given instruction to implement these things and they refused.
Yeah.
Did you hear the one thing the nun said that just flew all over me? At first,
that sounds horrible.
No.
Demons coming out.
That's what it sounds like.
I thought she was going to say one thing, and then it went, and she said the opposite, and I was like, whoa, bitch, did you really? She said, I hear these people talking about him, and it makes me sick. They say his name. They didn't know that little boy any more than I did.
Whoa.
Bitch!
Okay.
Yeah, here's the difference, though. It was your job to know
that little boy.
Yeah.
And because you refused to do it, he's dead.
Well, and not only was it your job as in your career you get paid to do, it was your job as a fucking human being.
And you know what?
It wasn't that security guard's job, but he did it because that's your responsibility as a human to look out for your fellow human, especially
who can't look out for themselves.
Especially those that can't look out for themselves.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'll tell you what, I really hope that bitch thinks about that little boy every night when she goes to sleep.
I bet she doesn't.
I hope he fucking haunts her till the day she dies.
I bet she doesn't, because she was more concerned about herself and how it affected her.
The same way, the judge at the end said that to the parents, or the stepdad and the mom.
No, the boyfriend.
That's right, because they weren't married.
Yeah.
He called her wife, but they weren't.
Right.
He said, I hope every night when you go to sleep, his cries haunt you. Mm-hmm. But I bet they won't, because if you were the type of person to be haunted by this, we wouldn't be sitting here. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I have a feeling it's the same for the nun.
Yeah.
It just... Like, why would you go into that as a line? Because, I mean, come on, we can't even think it's easy work.
Yeah. So, being a social worker is not some easy shit.
I mean, goddamn, if you want to just phone it in, go to Walmart or something.
Yeah, go to Walmart and phone it in. It's not like you'll be just like every other employee there.
It's not like social workers make $100,000 a year.
No, it's hard work. It's low pay.
You're talking 50, maybe 60 a year, and you can find plenty of jobs to do that are a lot less important and a lot less stressful.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand why you would choose that as your life's work if you're really just going to kind of half-ass it. Mm-hmm.
Not ass it at all.
Yeah, the only reason I can see you, one of my high school best friends is
put
a
herself
social
through
worker.
College and became a social
She put herself through college and she became a social worker, and she's not rich and she will never be rich. But she saved so many kids in this county.
And she cares.
So many. And she cares. It's got to be a...
See, I could not... Yeah, it has to be a calling.
It has to be a
do that
calling. It's more than a job for you to do
I couldn't do that job because I'd get arrested for beating the shit out of people.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Well,
I'd be like the boyfriend and the mom.
Yeah, be like, guess what, motherfucker? I know what you did and I know where you live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She won't go, in all our years, we're coming up on our 30th reunion, she won't go to the reunions. She's like, I cannot look these motherfuckers in the face. I know what they've done.
Wow.
I know all their dirt. I don't want to go pretend and play with them. And I mean, I kind of see it.
Yeah, I get that.
I'd be like... Because she's
I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, she's told me that many times.
Wow.
She's like, it'd be too tempting. I can't say it, but boy, I want to say, I see you playing. I see you pretending who you're trying to be. I know what you do. She's like, you would die if you knew what some of our classmates have done.
Yeah, but if that's very much something that if it's not
If you're not called to do it,
you don't need to do it.
This needs to be like a life's work kind of thing.
Honestly, after you saying that, seems to me that security guard
pretty profound.
That security guard, even without the education, he probably needs that job.
He would have made a much better social worker than the trained social workers. You know, because he had the heart for it.
I think a lot of people go into a job like that, get that degree and everything, thinking, or probably not fully grasping
what it entails,
the magnitude of that work. That's not some 9-to-5 thing. This is not shit you can check at the door. When you read what happens to these kids and you go see this shit firsthand, it doesn't. You can't just take that off like your jacket.
It's really hard though, because people that are,
and I'm sure the burnout rate is huge,
so emotional,
and I think the suicide rate is pretty huge too.
Who have the heart for it, they can't last long.
No.
It gets to them. So you kind of have to have
that happy medium.
You know, people go into the job that, I don't want to say don't have the heart for it, but I know what you emotional.
Have that ability to put that wall up,
but then that affects their work.
Like I've got the heart for it, but I don't have the distance for it. It would I'd eat a bullet. Like I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't.
I could. I'd
snap.
I could not do that job.
That
you and I, we would die. Now maybe Amber would care. But
I'd end up killing parents.
Yeah,
I would too.
Amber and Ross, they kill parents. We kill ourselves.
I'd be like, "You did what?"
Oh, okay.
Oh no, I wouldn't kill
Let's
myself.
See how it feels, motherfucker.
But I would certainly put some parents down.
Oh no, I mean, I think it would get
and then not lose a wink of sleep about it.
I think it would weigh my soul a little more every day.
And that's why there's no way I could do that job.
No, But Amber's right. You have to. It's sort of like I got a good friend that is a neonatal nurse, and I mean, the distance she has to have. Because I mean, I'm the one she cries to when one of them dies, so I know that she's not just like cold and analytical.
Right.
But there's a part of her when she's on shift that has to be, and those people. It is a calling. She could work and make more money doing less emotionally draining work, but at the same time you have to have. She does it because her daughter almost died and was in the NICU, and she saw the difference it made in her life, and so anything like that, it's more than a job. It's like a ministry, and
again, that's why it doesn't need to be farmed out to a fucking private company.
It can never be done for profit. Profit and loss statements should never enter into things that are life and death. You can't put a price on a little boy's life.
No.
Well, we might have saved him, but the overtime.
Yeah, we saved $10,000 in overtime.
Go us.
Yeah.
See, but to them, it's not a kid. It's just
a case number.
Yeah.
They're removed. They're too far removed.
Oh, but if it was one of their kids, it'd be it wouldn't be a goddamn case number.
Of course. But that's with anything. People can, and that's another thing that pissed me off as I'm watching this, because I got a lot of people, and we've had this discussion because we fall on different sides of the choice versus pro-choice, pro-life thing. But it's another one of those things. I don't. But that's what I was getting at. It's another one of those things when you get them to brass tacks.
I'm pro-choice. I'm anti-abortion.
Right,
There's
and
a
I am
distinct
too.
difference.
Really. But people go, well, just foster. Yeah. In that
there were so many kids in
foster care that age out of foster care. They were talking about. They had this 24-hour. It was the foster intake office.
Oh God, yes.
And it was on a high-rise.
Because they interviewed a guy that used to be a supervisor in that office, and now he was on that Blue Ribbon Commission.
Yeah.
And that's why they were interviewing. He was on that Blue Ribbon Commission, that gave the recommendation.
And so it was a high rise, and they had one whole floor that was this unit, and they would get so many
in an office.
Yeah, I mean, just town. Like cubicle town, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
They would get so many calls for kids. They've got to get them out of there. They've been notified that this kid is in danger. They go check, and holy shit, the kid's in danger. So leaving them's not an option.
Right.
They have to take them with them.
Which is what should have happened to Gabriel.
Right.
Well, but
there's nowhere for them to go. So they're housing them.
And this was foster kids, not kids like Gabriel. He wouldn't have been.
But Gabriel would he would have. He would have been taken into custody
and then put in a foster care situation.
if he hadn't have gone back to a family member.
The office that guy worked at was just dealing with kids that were already in the system.
Yes, but if they had done everything right, Gabriel would have gone into the foster system.
Yeah.
Which is, no matter how bad that is, better than getting beat to death.
Yeah. So they had them. They were housing them in like this office building because they had nobody could take them. God. You know,
and talking about how all these upper management people kept lying about it.
Don't tell anybody. What?
Don't tell anybody.
They're right there. There's 40 of them. You know, I mean, like, what are we supposed to do? Shove them under the desk? What the fuck?
Well, you know, my grandma was in an orphanage in France in the
World War I time,
40s,
for the ridiculous reason that her grandmother's grandmother's mother just put her in the orphanage.
Oh yeah, I got an orphanage story. Go ahead.
Yeah, she couldn't
was
care
just
for
like
her husband died in the war, and
this was World War I, right?
Two.
There she aged out, I think 15, 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and just
out on the street.
Bye now. Good luck to you. Bonjour. You know?
Well, that happened a lot back then because my grandfather and his brother, when they were like 3 or 4, their mother died. Dad dropped them off at his sister's.
Oh yeah, I was going to say which one.
And that's why our name's actually not supposed to be Everett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She gave the 2 boys her husband's name,
so that everybody would assume they were full siblings with her kids.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the ought and the math, and my mom's great uncle married a young woman that had like 5 kids.
Okay.
This was back, my mom was born, it was in the 50s. And he met her in another town. So it's, you know, like, and he was bringing her back there to live with him on the farm. And she just decided, she just took all the kids one day after they'd been at the farm a couple of weeks and asked my mom to go to help wrangle the children. They just went to the orphanage, and she took the 4 little ones and gave them away. And took the oldest and my mom home and like, all right, we're back. And I kept thinking, what? He came in off the tractor and he was like, weren't there more kids here this morning? What the fuck? I mean, how, that's just, I couldn't do that with kittens. Like, what the fuck? The things
like
that...
rehoming, like you see on Facebook.
Yeah, like the things that people like convince themselves are okay. Mm-hmm. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I was just the less number of kids when he came home. Remind me, I was watching something today, and it was I think they were talking about the Spanish flu, and there were so many people dying.
Yeah,
and they would go with the cart several times a day
to collect bodies,
bring out the dead bodies. And this one woman lost, I think it was 4 out of 5 of her kids and her husband. So, a child would die, the cart would come, they'd put him on the cart, and she would walk with the cart to the cemetery. And a lot of times, by the time she got back home, another one was dead.
Well, it's crazy if you find a cemetery, and I mean, you can go anywhere.
There's only so much
like
sorrow.
The early 1900s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You'll come across a cemetery, and it's like every other grave is
well, see, and back then they needed to have
3-year-old.
They needed to have 8 or 9 kids to play the odds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Listen closely to my voice. You don't need to have 8 or 9 motherfuckers in this day and age.
Yeah, because chances are they're going to survive.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance. 1 or 2 is fine.
Most of us aren't working farms anymore.
Where they their welfare check when they have one.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Yeah. We're not trying to build a basketball team.
Well,
fuck.
And
unless you're the Duggars.
Those idiots. Oh my God.
They're trying to build like a league.
Yeah.
But I would much rather, if Pearl Fernandez had to make a choice, was she going to have an abortion or was she going to beat Gabriel to death? I would much rather her abort him. every time. Because at least...
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
I think about the things that were done to that boy and like how he just kept being this little smiling.
Or I also like